Welcome to UpTilt, your weekly source of Dear Lord, it's hot outside. This sucks. How's it going, Ed?
What's your name?
Oh, shoot. That's right. That's how we do it. I'm Trev.
And I'm Final Fantasy 14 online, a Realm Reborn free trial, including up to the second expansion, Stormblood. I mean Ed.
Relax. I need you to pick some things to complain about Final Fantasy today, just to level your head out with that.
Oh, don't you worry. I am a hater through and through.
Oh, actually, I know a couple things. I don't even play Final Fantasy 14 online, a Realm Reborn free trial, all the way up through the expansion pack.
Stormblood.
I was gonna come up with my own. Bloodbath.
That's close.
That's close enough for someone who doesn't play Final Fantasy, at least.
It's for someone who doesn't play Final Fantasy 14 online,
A
a
Realm
Realm Reborn
Reborn
free
free
trial.
trial. Stormblood, all the way up through the second expansion, Stormblood.
Yeah.
Did I get it right? Yeah. So yes. Okay. I had some skill issues yesterday at work with how hot it's been here. I couldn't do it.
Jeez.
For those who are unaware, I live in Washington, and nothing out here has like central AC like we do back in the good old home of Ohio.
Yeah, the Midwest, we love our central air.
Yeah, it's great, but no, nothing out here has it. It's all like the crappy little portable ACs on wheels that you have to like stick a tube in your window and mount it in there so it has a place to exhaust the heat. And our building is super old, so it just retains all the heat that it gets hit with. When you're taking care of children, that is not a good combination because they're miserable. I'm miserable, and together we're extra miserable. How are you handling it, Ed?
The heat,
Mm-hmm.
my house is 65 degrees.
Oh no, sorry. Did I say the heat? I meant Final Fantasy 14 Online, the Realm Reborn free trial.
I pay money for that game.
Yeah, yeah. I know
I'm
you do.
post Shadowbringers, pre Endwalker.
I don't know what that means.
It means I'm farther than what you can do without paying money. And I pay money to play that game. And
And
there
you
are so
have
many
for a
things
while.
about it. There are so many things about it, Trevor, that I hate.
Then just stop playing it. That's a solution.
That's I was trying to segue
Or
into
you can vent and you can tell.
our
I know what you were doing. I just like to play games with you, and that's not one that I enjoy.
You messed it up. I was trying to segue into our show where we talk about things that we don't actually like about video games.
Okay, let's do a
Let's
take
try it.
two.
Let's try again. Okay, ready?
Okay, from the top.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. There are so many things about that game that I hate.
Wow, like what, Ed?
Like how it's
Wait, was that better?
designed.
Was that better?
Yeah, it was better.
All
Okay,
right.
just
Okay, cool. Okay.
we gotta stop whispering. They can still hear us.
Ah, dang, you're right. All right, tell me about it, man.
It's designed to take up your time.
Yeah, dude, I've seen like you wait 15 minutes for queues for like
Oh, 15 minutes is light work.
like do they have other things genuinely? Do they have other things you can do in the game while you're waiting to be picked for a queue?
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff you can do. It's nothing that I want to do, but plenty of stuff you can do.
But like what I get that there's queues. But why does it take so long?
Because everybody wants to play DPS. Nobody wants to play healer. Nobody wants
I
to play tank.
is it is it because everyone just has main character syndrome, or is it because they have unbalanced classes? Like are the other classes less fun or less interactive or what?
It really depends on what you like to do, but I would say more so it's main character syndrome.
Yeah.
I play DPS right now. I used to play healer, but healer was way harder, so I stopped playing it.
You know what else makes you feel like a main character? Being
Mm,
picked first for assignments or for
for
raids.
assignments.
Raids, whatever, your missions. What do they call them in those games?
Duties.
Duties.
Duty.
Never mind, maybe that doesn't make me feel like a main character. I don't want to be picked first for duties.
I gotta take my duty first.
No, I feel like, yeah, I would immediately, unless DPS is that much cooler, I feel like I would immediately pick something else. just so that
It's
I could
just
get
a
the
lot
opportunity to
more
play.
simple. There's not much more to do for DPS other than learn your rotation.
How to hit things.
Mhm.
You ain't got to worry
Whereas
about keeping people alive.
you do DPS as a healer, you have to do DPS as a tank, but there are two other things that you have to do, i.e., heal or tank, depending
Yeah.
on who you are. But that brings me to my first point in today's episode. Things I hate about video games. Fluff. I hate fluff.
I don't know. I like a good fluffer nutter every once in a while.
Really?
Like once a year. When I say once in a while, I mean like once a year.
I
That's once in a while.
yeah, once a year is once in a while. I meant specifically like things that detract me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing
Oh, in the game.
in the game,
Got
in the hall.
got it. That was my mistake. You didn't mean like blended up marshmallows in a jar.
No, I love that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You ever just eat it with a spoon?
No,
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
have eaten. I've eaten other things with a spoon that come out of a jar. You're not supposed to eat with a spoon, like hazelnut spread, peanut butter.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Big Hazelnut Spoon.
Oh, is there a brand?
A brand deal? No, no. God, I wish we had brand deals.
We'll get them eventually.
First one, jet puffed marshmallow fluff. Jet puffed fluff. Jet puffed. See, I can
Do
see it now.
you,
Jet puffed
do you
fluff.
think our
Get your stuff fluffed.
Do you think our first brand deal won't be Final Fantasy 14 Online: A Realm Reborn free trial up to the second expansion, Stormblood?
No, because that's too long to say. But actually, we do have it down pat, so maybe we will.
I really feel like that our first brand deal will be with Final Fantasy 14 Online free trial Realm Reborn.
Either that or Kirkland's signature brand hard seltzer water.
Well, we don't drink those.
You're right. It's for the adults in our audience.
Mhm.
You hate fluffing games.
Yes, I hate fluffing games where it's like running back and forth to do something over and over again,
Oh my
just doing the same
god.
thing.
Yeah. I feel like there's a separate point in there too, which is like retrieval tasks. But I want to focus on fluff for a second because, like, to an extent, I feel like fluff can add to like the world, but 9 times out of 10, you're right, where it is just a quest to make the story longer, you know,
Yes.
and there's just no right for it to be in there. Like, do you have any specific examples of like times where you've hit that in a game?
It's in every game. In every single game where there is a story, there is fluff.
That's just subplot.
Subplot sucks.
I like subplot from time to time.
If it does something to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, that's to get a story out of it. No, I know. Sorry, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I I do agree with you that fluff sucks, especially when it's like already a short game and they're just like, well, we don't want our story to be 2 hours long, so let's add this 30-minute side
Let's have
quest,
you run from the west side of the map to the east side of the map so you can talk to somebody so they can tell you to go back to the west side of the map.
and then also run into 12 people along the way who want to stop and talk to you about how their day went.
Ugh.
That's garbage. But along with that, I feel like non-skippable cutscenes can kind of fall into this category as well.
If a cutscene is not skippable, I will not play that game.
Monster Hunter World begs to differ.
I stopped playing that game.
You played a lot of it already, though.
I will look at how many hours I played, but it is not a lot.
I would classify over 10 as a lot.
Not in modern games.
Comparatively to our collective library, maybe not. But
I mean, when you compare Monster Hunter World, not skippable, and Monster Hunter World, you can't skip the cutscenes. I played 25.2 hours. In Monster Hunter Rise, where you can skip the cutscenes, I played 527.7 hours.
yes. And that's just on PC.
And that's just on PC.
But like in the context of Monster Hunter World, you did beat base game. So I mean like in that
Did I?
context, yeah, you were starting the Iceborne quests and then you quit.
Oh, that's only because I was playing Final Fantasy
Left me high and
Online.
dry.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
You know what I hate though?
What do
The
you hate?
segue off of that. I mean, aside from non-skippable cutscenes, how much of my time
Give me
I want to see the
give me
math
stuff
on
you
how
hate.
much time I've missed on non-skippable cutscenes. There's no reason to not make everything possibly skippable. That's what the gallery's for. Go back and watch it later. It can be a movie. Like if I'm now I'm hung up on non-skippable cutscenes. If I'm in the swing of it and I'm like going down the chain of monsters in Monster Hunter, for example, and I'm feeling it. I'm crushing everything. The quests are going by easy. I don't want to get held up by a bunch of like just talking to 50 people before I can go out on the next mission or doing the tracking quests. I like having the tracking quests as an option, but needing to do them with like the oh, what's her name? Shoot,
The Handler.
the handler. Yes, that's her name. That's not really a good name, but it's a name. But doing the mandatory tracking quests with the handler sucks. That being said, on to my next point. Glad I got that off my chest. Quick time events. Hate that.
Not terrible though.
Not worse than unskippable cutscenes, but still on my list. Part of what really brought that into the limelight for me was that, no, don't get me wrong, there are better quick time events. I don't know. Would you consider like button mashing contests as like think in the Dragon Ball games like the beam struggles where like two people would do a move like that at the same time and then you had to like mash a button. Like that pops up in the middle of the screen. Does that count as a
That
quick
is
time event?
only fun if it's between you and another person. Because
Yes.
if you can beat me in a button mashing contest, you are really good at mashing buttons.
Now, I will say that you usually do beat me in that, but there was one specific beam struggle where it was joystick spinning and I was really good at that one.
But I mean, what do you want? Warts? I don't want to do that.
What how do
I
you
don't want
get
to break
how
my
does that give
controller.
you warts?
Doing this on your controller?
Give you a callus. Warts are
I
caused
give
by
you
a bacteria.
a warts.
No.
I got a wart
Anyways,
when I was a kid from that.
quick time events. In the realm of the Dragon Ball world, there was one game that was almost entirely centered around quick time events, and I was so miffed when it came out because
Oh, what was that game
it
called?
was Ultimate Tenkaichi because I thought it was going to be the fourth Tenkaichi, which we're gonna get with Sparking Zero, like a true successor. Which I would like to
Yeah,
talk about
but
that.
no, Ultimate Tenkaichi was like rock paper scissors
It was
over and over again.
yes, it was you start a fight and then you'd like go to attack and then it would be like, oh, but the enemy countered with this, and it was like, what button are you gonna press? And then it would like if you tied, you would start a like 3 sequence quick time event and it was best 2 out of 3 wins, and then you'd just take a chunk of the enemy's health. And that was it. That was the entire game. It was all quick time event and rock, paper, scissors. It was garbage. I hated it.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm gonna look up the rating on that game real quick,
you do that.
but I'm sure it was bad.
I bet one of them was really high.
Yeah, just to stand out, just like when we play Game Creator. 4.1 out of 5? No, that's on Google though. Out of 61 ratings. Metacritic though, it has a 58%, a 4 out of 10 on GameSpot, and you're right, one website does have a high rating and it's IGN at 7.5 out of 10, which is ridiculous. You're wrong objectively. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
play an entire game of quick time events in rock paper scissors. Is garbage. I can't really think of too many other games that like overdid quick time events. I don't like them. It's a bad mechanic in general, aside from like the beam struggles. But that's I would see now I'm backtracking. I don't know if that really counts as a quick time event. Either way, I digress. I'd much rather just have like just give me the fun mini game where I get to button mash against somebody. Grind mechanics. That
Actually, no. I'm all about the grind. Every
now
game there's a grind, I am for the grind.
there are why am I blanking on so many words right now? Exceptions. Jesus.
Yeah, give me you I feel like you just don't like the grind like I like the grind.
I have too many hours in Monster Hunter to say I don't like the grind. How many times did I fight that Anjanath in
That
Rise?
is one instance of grinding. Like come to me when you have spent 400 hours looking for one material in Kingdom Hearts to get the ultimate weapon.
See,
You know what I mean?
I don't think I don't like the grind. I think I have ADHD and lose interest when I get too deep into the grind. But there are definitely definitely games where it can start to feel like a chore over like a mechanic, you know?
I kind of like when that happens. As much as I want to complain about it, I like when a game is a chore to me. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
I gotta get on Final Fantasy 14 online, and I gotta fight the ultimate weapon again because I really want that weapon,
you
and
have
I
to
just haven't
fight the
gotten it yet.
ultimate weapon to get the ultimate. I guess that makes sense. You gotta fight it to get it.
Yeah, I gotta fight Shiva again so I can get the unicorn mount.
Sometimes when I hear us talk about video games, it sounds like when an old person is listening to their grandchild talk about video games online. And I know I just kind of ripped that from Rod, but like sometimes it really hits like when, especially when it's a game that I don't know when you're talking to me about Final Fantasy stuff. And
Well,
it's an
it's
item
just in
like the
general. It's like
unicorn.
telling a story, and it's like, yeah, all the spiders hatched last night, so my aunt had to come over and she did a backflip into the swimming pool. And then I got into the passenger seat in the car, but I wasn't tall enough to see over the dashboard.
And it made me feel like a kid again. Then I started getting real introspective.
Exactly.
And then I fell asleep in the car and I started dreaming. It was Inception. And now I don't know if I'm dreaming now. Actually,
Just like that.
quick sidetrack here. Over the weekend, Kendra was getting really tired, just in the middle of the day, and she kind of dozed off for a couple minutes. And I started talking to her, and she was like, "Huh? I wasn't sleeping. I'm awake." And then like I stopped talking to her, and I was standing behind the couch, and I waited for her to like look over at me, and I was doing like this weird like wiggle dance, and I was like, when she looked at me, I was like, "Are you awake?" And she was like, "Stop it. That's weird. I don't like it."
You should have. Did you walk towards her?
Yes, I did. I took like two more steps towards her and she was like, "Stop." And I just
I would
like
have. I would have gone all the way in. I would have just grabbed her and pulled her to the abyss.
just wake up. No, she really hates that. So I do it occasionally.
It's okay. Jason tickles me all the time. Can't stand that. Have you ever been playing a video game and you actually hate video games?
Screw this. Chuck them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Bye,
actually.
everybody.
Yeah. No, actually, yes. It was last week when we were playing Smash Bros. And you 3-0'd me twice with Samus. I was this close to throwing my controller.
Really?
Yeah.
Smash Bros is one of those games where
Did you
I can't hate it. It's just boring.
You were in a different mindset, but did you not notice that I was completely silent for those two matches?
I 100% did not notice.
I was not talking. And that's why I queued up Ike twice, even though Ed and I do this thing sometimes when we play Smash Bros. Where if we lose on a character, they're dead. And we just
I do
move
that
on
every
to.
time.
I do it sometimes. So when I picked one of my best characters and Ed 3-0'd me on just a random, I was like, no, I'm queuing that back up. I'm not going to let that one go. I had to do it again. Spawn point
Ooh,
locks in like a story mode game where you just keep dying or you have to like reset the checkpoint to a previous save.
I'm unfamiliar mostly because I don't just keep dying in video games. I know that
For
sounds like
our
I'm full of
audio
myself.
listeners, I rolled my eyes.
I know, but for what it's worth, genuinely not a problem for me.
It's too much of
I'm,
a
s-
humble brag. Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm just good at video games. I'm sorry.
Well, my
I don't
next
even know. I
point,
don't even know what you mean.
there are some games where the save point or something will glitch. Like maybe when you get into the second stage of a boss fight, like maybe you died right after or halfway through the second stage, and then you'll respawn. But let's say the boss is in like a rage mode and just like attacking way faster. But there's a grace period when your character spawns where you can't do anything, but there's also no iframes. So you just keep getting like either stun locked or killed right on spawn. So you might have to like restart the boss fight all over again.
I've never experienced that. I'm sorry.
It's hard to be angry. It's hard for me to be angry about the topic when I'm angry at you for for being too good at games.
I'm not trying to brag. I can't commiserate with that.
I just need to sign up for Ed's school of being good at video games.
Just play when you're 4 years old
and
instead of
underdeveloped youths.
yeah, exactly.
I was trying to think of like a school name in the vein of like Derek Zoolander's school for children who want to learn how to read good and do other things also good.
I almost spit my drink out when you said Derek Zoolander because I thought you were gonna be like an X-Men or like Miss Peregrine's. But when you said Derek Zoolander, I like almost lost it.
No. Did you ever watch that movie? It's like at the end of it when he decides.
Zoolander? Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen
Okay.
Zoolander.
I I love Zoolander. I think it's like just a good, funny movie,
It's a 3 out of 10 for me.
which like is good. I don't want that kind of movie to be a 10 out of 10. I need it to be a 3 out of 10 for me to enjoy it, you know?
Sure.
I mean, one of your favorite movies, d- no, you didn't describe it, but you said people have described it as a few lines of dialogue away from a wallpaper
You
or a
mean
screen.
Ring?
Yes, I
The
do
most
mean that.
boring movie I've ever loved.
Yeah. If you can love that, I can love Zoolander.
You're allowed to. I'm just saying Zoolander's not a good movie, but in my opinion.
I mean, I only like funny movies, Ed.
To be fair, I hate Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Like, cannot stand that man.
Do you remember that scene in Foster's Home from Imaginary Friends at the end of it was like while credits were rolling, and it was the middle of summer, and Blue and Mac were watching the weather, and the weatherman just had like really boring voice, and he was like, "It's hot in Topeka," and then the camera cuts to Blue and Mac, and they both just repeat, "It's hot in Topeka."
Yeah, well, Blue, it was like Blue being bored. I remember that.
That's how I feel. It's hot in Seattle, but I can't say it because wait, see, it does have the same amount of syllables. I'm just dumb.
It's hot in Seattle, but you can't say it because it's actually hotter in Ohio right now.
Is it
And
hotter?
it's been hotter in Ohio this whole year.
Yeah. Escort
Ooh,
quests.
ooh, escort quests. Like,
That's a good thing to hate on. And especially escort quests where the computer moves slower or faster than your character is allowed to move.
I'll never understand it.
It's you already made a character that moves a certain speed. Copy, paste. Done. Why give them a different moving speed?
I'll never understand why they they put it in between. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-mm. And honestly, if you don't want the character that you're escorting to be at that speed for some reason, put them on a mount or stick them in a buggy. I don't care. Just don't make me like
How about just make it a cutscene?
that too. Yeah, escort quest garbage.
Just make it a cutscene. I don't have to walk with someone while they talk. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
really don't
cannot
have
think of
to.
one example where I cared.
The only possible way I could see an escort mission being like acceptable at all in a game is if it's like the first mission your character goes on as part of their training. Like, oh, you signed up to be a part of this, militia group. Here's your first mission. Protect this person. And then it teaches you like the fighting mechanics and whatnot while you're going to wherever. Like part of the story, also the tutorial. Perfect. Sounds good. Don't give it to me 45 hours into the story. Garbage. Don't need it. Or make it a free roam one where I can run around and get rid of all the enemies while the person catches up to me behind me.
If I had to protect somebody while we were like moving along, I guess that'd be like fine.
Yeah.
But that never happens.
Yeah.
It's always like they're equal in power to you. Are they? Are they really?
Come on. Look at me. Definitely
I
not
spent I
not
spent 14 hours in the beginning of the game fighting a volleyball. All right? I'm 70 levels higher than where I'm supposed to be right now.
that seems gross. Gross abuse of power.
I love the grind.
I know you do.
Things we hate, also things we love. When they don't restrict me from leveling up. If you're gonna have a level up system and also a way to like grind that level up system, please let me just level up.
Hey, can we agree though that experience share in Pokemon is a good thing?
Yes, we absolutely can.
That that experience share is necessary. And that is
It
one
makes
of the
more sense.
grinds. It 100% makes more sense. Because, I mean, aside from like the actual Pokemon getting stronger, I feel like the experience system in the game also goes narratively with how you develop as a trainer.
They need to have a separate level for a trainer. Like they need to have like a trainer level.
Yeah, in a tree, like a skill tree. I feel
Yeah,
like you could do that in a Pokemon game realistically, and I think a Legends game would be a good place to put that.
they need to do it. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Before experience share was a thing, that is a prime example of the grind mechanics that I hate.
When
Like,
it's just a waste of time.
yeah, and it's just
When you're not
like,
actively working towards something, you're just working towards getting stronger. It's there needs to be more to it. Like if I'm gonna grind for something, I want to grind for something exclusive. Like in Final Fantasy 14 Online, All Realm Reborn free trial up to the second expansion, Stormblood. Give me something. Give me like a shirt that looks really really cool, but it's got like a really low chance to drop. I want to work for that. But when it's like in Pokemon, where you got to work for evolving, I don't care.
yeah,
Now I'm just fighting to fight.
it's dumb. I do know that like a lot of people in, I think it was Sword and Shield, the experience share system in Sword and Shield had changed the way it worked. Oh, that was when group experience share dropped instead of just like the single crown item that you would just slap on like one other Pokemon. Right? That's how it worked in the past.
Um, I actually don't know because I never played X and Y or Sun and Moon.
It should have been in Diamond and Pearl too.
That was just one item though. I didn't think it was as far as the experience share goes. Wouldn't it just go from one Pokemon to another, like in the base experience share?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the old system for like the first iteration of experience share was like the little crown item where like a little bit of XP would go to that Pokemon too, even if it
Yeah.
didn't battle. And then Sword and Shield was when they started the group share, I think.
Yeah, I think so because they also had the
Yeah.
crystals and all that.
Yeah. Progression progression points in the game where you're not allowed to turn back anymore.
What do you mean?
Like let's say you're like a fork in the road and on one
Okay.
path there might be a treasure or like lore item on one side. And then the other side, the right path, is a cutscene and like the next part of the game. But once you go down that path, you can't go back and explore anymore. Basically, just a coin toss on whether or not you get to continue exploring or if the game progresses. I feel like
I
that.
don't I don't know of any time that's ever happened.
I feel like it happened in Uncharted a bit, where like occasionally you would have maps where you might be in a cave system or something, and you could go get stuff if you looked around, but like if you walked down the wrong path, it would just trigger the next cutscene or the next
Or
area
the
of
right
combat.
path, rather.
Yeah.
The correct path. That sounds horrible. I've never played Uncharted. Now I never will.
I mean, it's an otherwise good game. Oh, in a similar vein, while I'm thinking of Uncharted, it's been a long time since I've played, so I don't quite recall the combat system, but combat sequences where where it's just you and you're surrounded by a circle of guards, but they run at you one at a time.
Oh wow. No, yeah. When you when when battle no.
Start over. Take two.
Yeah, when enemies fight you one at a time, it's ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense. Like
No. What's the point in being in a group?
obviously if they all jump to at the same time, something would happen.
They're going to jump you at the same time. They're not going to be like, yeah, get them from the sidelines, you know?
Yeah.
There's
Um
just no need to do that. Assassin's Creed was really bad at that, though,
or yeah.
where it'd be
Well,
like,
one person is gonna fight you, and then they're gonna wait until that one person falls, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, but it's my turn. I'm gonna beat him this time."
I feel like, did the Arkham Knight games do that too? Spider Man was really bad at that.
Every game where you're fighting multiple people at one time does it because they want you to feel like you're going. You know what I mean? They want you to feel like you're stronger.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to cycle back to QuickTime events. Kind of. Just on the topic of Spider Man. They kind of altered QuickTime events in the guise of Spidey Sense, where it'd be like, you have to look for the tingles on his head, and you just have to dodge. And it's still just a quick time event. But it felt better than be like a big triangle button flashing up on the screen. Be like, hit
It breaks
triangle.
my immersion.
Yeah.
It breaks my immersion to press triangle. There are a couple missions in Final Fantasy 14 where like they'll stop the game where you have to like button mash, and I'm like, stop, stop. I'm obviously gonna beat that.
Yeah.
What is the point of making me do it when I'm gonna beat it? Speaking of things that you're gonna beat without trying, how about when you're playing a game and you're fighting a boss and you're supposed to lose to the boss, but you win,
Oh my god. And
and
then
the
it just
cutscene is you
forces,
losing anyway.
right? Like
No, no, just roll credits. I won. Just roll the credits.
you were just on one knee leaning on your sword stuck in the ground. There's no way we got from that to you towering over me spread eagled on the ground. No. That doesn't make any sense.
Egregious. Egregious. There's in Kingdom Hearts 1, there's when you fight Squall in Traverse Town,
I have a
you
town.
can you can in Trevor Town, you
That
can
sounds
beat him.
like that's definitely a tree in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Trevor Town. It's
Yeah.
just my face on a door.
Yeah, it is. It's got your
Anyways,
haircut and everything.
yeah.
But
Anyways,
you beat Squall and then you fall asleep. Oh, I'm just so tired. No, I'm not tired. I just whooped you.
and I
Give
had a
me a
full
better
stamina bar.
like you know what you should do? If there's a boss that I am not supposed to beat, make him unbeatable.
Have him one
Just
shot me. I don't care. Or just unhittable.
no, don't do that. Make it possible. But if I win,
I
just
want to win.
end the game.
Yeah.
Give me a different scenario where it's like, oh wow, congratulations, you beat this really powerful entity.
Entity.
You end the game.
Movement abilities that are faster than running, like dodge
Love
rolling.
them.
Dodge
Love
rolling,
them.
I love it, but it doesn't make any sense. Or walking backwards doesn't make any sense.
Ocarina of Time where you jump sideways and it's faster than
Exactly.
walking.
Yep.
Yeah,
But like if sprinting is a movement option, it makes no sense to me to be able to especially dodge rolling. Makes no sense that that's faster. Especially in a game if like stamina is a thing. Dodge rolling is hard, especially if you're covered in armor.
I play a lot of anime games, so movement is not
And
like the
Elden Ring.
yeah, and movement's not like the primary focus. Well, Elden Ring, if you have armor on, you roll slower depending on how much armor you're wearing.
Yeah, that's fair. How are the iframes with dodge rolling in Elden Ring? Is that kind of a meme or no?
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's that's one of the reasons I don't like Souls games because it's like you're fighting um Lord Montauk, the god of death, and you beat him because you can roll through his attacks. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Specific one. Only have noticed it in one game. Tripping. And do you know what game I'm talking about?
Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm. Hate it. Terrible.
You can only trip and brawl.
That's why I said one specific game. And it's stupid.
That is dumb.
Why would they add that? Is it just like random chance too?
I think so. I don't know though. I didn't play a lot of brawl.
I did. That was like one of the before I got my first laptop that I could actually play games on. That was like one of the first systems that I played online with friends with was my Wii. And we would get on like a three-way phone call and just play Brawl online. And that's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Just
I thought
like we
there's
do
more
now.
to it.
No,
Sorry.
that's it. That's all I got. I feel like I've ranted enough.
I feel like I could rant for hours.
Yeah. Got any other specific examples of what you want to be mad about?
No, it's just modern video games are all the same thing.
Yeah, not really a mechanic though. That's just
Crafting,
crafting.
crafting in like
Crafting
a
can be
shooter,
bad.
in like
Okay,
a
in
shooter,
a shooter doesn't make sense.
like I'm not gonna make bullets on the fly.
Who makes bullets?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, oh, in The Last of Us, you got to make medicine and like shivs, and it's I'm not. I don't want to do all that. Just give me a knife. If I find something that can make a knife, there be a knife. If I like a pair of scissors,
yeah.
right? I'm not gonna wait until I find tape before I can use them as a shiv. There's scissors. They already have a handle.
They are a shiv. You don't even have to break them apart. You can just use them.
Just stab. I don't want to do all that work. There are a lot of crafting systems that like are in games that just don't belong.
No,
Speaking of, I hope that Pokemon Legends ZA has a really good crafting system, and like really excited for that game.
feel like Arceus did a good job with crafting.
Yeah, yeah. So did Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, honestly, love being able to just craft TMs with just like dropped Pokemon goods.
Even more Diglett tears.
More Diglett tears. Cry. Oh my god, it's just like It Takes Two all over again.
What if It Takes Two had a crafting system?
It would probably be bad. They do just give you the weapons and other utensils.
Whatever you need to succeed in that world.
Exactly. I don't know if I have any more. I feel like I complained enough. Oh, is that your slap bracelet? Your slap
Yeah, put it
pin?
on the mic.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to yell about either.
Forced perspective.
That's actually a really bad thing in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
After Stormblood, they are regularly making you play as other characters, and it's like, I'm the main character.
Why?
Make
it
me
for,
play
like,
as the main
missions?
character. Yeah, for missions. You have to play as like Y'shtola, and it's
That feels
just
weird.
I don't want to play as her. I want to play as me.
Yeah, I spent 15 hours making this character. I really don't want to have to play as someone else.
15 hours is such a light amount of hours.
To make a character? Just
You'll
in
never
character
spend that
creator?
in Baldur's Gate 3, another thing that I want to complain about.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 character creator is bad. It's bad and boring, objectively.
Is it bad or could it just be better?
It's not bad. It could just be much better. Much better. The fact that you can't like change body type.
Yeah.
You can be ripped or you can be giant and ripped. You know, give me sliders, babe. If you want to customize it, give me sliders.
I'm sure there's mods.
I'll find out.
Oh, I'll find out.
Oh,
Actually,
I'll find out.
I just uninstalled Baldur's Gate not too long ago because I had
Did
it.
you? I was thinking about replaying it recently.
I would try again. It was just that it was on my Windows drive, and if your Windows drive gets too full, it slows down your start time. So I
Shame.
wanted to clear it up because it was full.
Shame.
Shame. Yeah.
Everybody should try Final Fantasy 14 online. Or we're going free trial up to the second expansion, Stormblood.
At least wait until we're sponsored, please.
Why? I want friends to play with.
I'm
Oh I'm not looking to get people to buy the game. I'm looking to get people to play with me.
Tell me why I just got the rules pop-up chat for our Twitch chat while I'm logged into the UpTilt Twitch account.
Because we're not following the rules.
All right. That's all I got for this week. How do I end the show again? What do I say typically?
Bye.
That's not what I say. Thanks for watching UpTilt. Send us suggestions on what you might want us to talk about. We have a suggestion box down at the bottom, or we have an email account, uptiltpod@gmail.com. Feel free to email us too. Or just send us some. We have a P.O. box. I'm kidding.
We will one day.
Maybe, hopefully. Yes, no. Confidence. That's what we need. We will have a P.O. box one day. You can send us stuff, but we live in different states, so we'll need 2, I guess.
Fine.
All right. Peace. Catch you next week.